PizzaFellas Podcast. Turn your speakers up, we better have a blast. Grab a drink, fill a glass, light a cigar, come on, let's make it last. Pizza Talk with Sal and Joe, Oliver, Antonio. Pizza stories, they gon' tell us. Let's have some fun with the Pizza Fellas.
Hey everybody, how are you? How's all the boys and girls doing this weekend out there? Joe Ruffino here on the inaugural first episode of the Pizza Fellas. We're coming at you with our opinions, our thoughts, our feelings on what the fuck's going on in food, the industry. We're going to be blunt and straight to the point. We're calling out assholes and we're going to give gratitude to great people. It's the bottom line. It's the way shit needs to be done in 2023. It's the PizzaFellas Podcast, and we're coming at you live. Guys, if you want to introduce who's here, who's going next? Antonio, Sal, who's going? Oliver?
Go ahead, Oliver.
Yeah, I'm going to start off. Oliver Nassry here. Friends with all these guys, eat a lot of pizza, eat pizza almost every day. Founded the Lehigh Valley Pizza Shops with 9,000 members, so I got a lot of experience eating pizzas.
What's up, guys? I'm Sal Ruffino, Joe's son. We started about, 6 months ago, maybe? No, almost a year ago, we thought about doing this.
Yep.
Now, finally, we came to, what is that called?
Fruition.
How do you say that?
Implementation.
So now we're here. So we've been working in the business our whole lives. So we said, let's get together. Let's have some fun. We'll smoke cigars, drink, and talk about what's going on in the world.
Antonio DiFlora, pizza connoisseur. I sell in the industry and I eat in the industry. Like Sal said, 6 months ago we came with an idea of trying to get our vision out. Basically, the truth about pizza shops.
Definitely.
True.
It could be political.
Whatever comes up.
You know? So we just have some fun and see what happens.
You get to see the reality of it.
That's correct, Joe.
You get to see the reality. So, in this first podcast here, we got the intros. A lot of you who are going to be watching this, who hear from the places that we're going to be talking from, you probably already follow many of us. And then there's going to be others of you that are going to pick up on this. And the one thing, that I'll tell you, you want to know what irks my ass is when I'm driving down the street and all of a sudden I see a pizza shop, guys, and there's that $16.99 for 2 pies or $18.99 for 2 pies, or here's a $22.99 super special and I'm giving you 12 rings, a 2-liter, and I'm giving you a free pass to my wife tonight in bed. I mean, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, these guys, I don't know what they're out to do. They're in a vengeance to destroy the industry. What do you guys think?
I think it gets worse, too, when you go up to different areas of the state and country.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, Oliver, goes, Antonio, you sell everywhere. You go up to, north 476 to those small towns, or you even go up towards Cabela's 78. You got these small town guys selling $8 pizzas. How are you selling a 16-inch pie for $8? I don't know how they keep coming back. You got a 8-inch hoagie, 10-inch hoagie, $6.50 on a menu. You bring in menus all the time.
That's the problem. You go up north, these people they're working their ass off. They're selling volume and not making anything. And then they complain that they can't afford a nice car, they can't afford a nice place to live. And I tell them, I said, you need to raise your prices. You got to get these prices up. When you're selling a food item, you're only making 50 cents, $1 per item. You're going to lose your ass when you're paying your rent and all the other expenses.
And real quick before we go in.
Yeah, I forgot to give our main man on the board over here, Justin Corso.
Owner of enter.net.
Owner of internet.com. All right? Internet.net, right?
Yeah.
All right, so if you need services for the internet, you've got to go call my man Justin. Juice is the man. All right, he does a phenomenal job. He's very personal with all his clients. So enter.net, that's the place to go if you need your web facilities or anything like that. He's a supporter of the podcast here. He's one of our lead providers here, and he does a great job with us.
So to keep going, though,
Justin.
Good. Cheers, Justin. So, Antonio, I'm here. I want to ask you, what is the craziest pricing you've seen in the area recently? Not just in the past, but recently. Something that popped up off your head.
Here we go. Hazleton, Pennsylvania.
Ooh. Carmine's.
Yeah. It's not Carmine's, though. I'm not going to mention the name because it's not right.
Yeah, no problem.
But $6.99.
Jesus Christ.
So $6.99. Let's talk about that. Your pizza boxes are $22 to $24, $50 to a bundle.
That's not custom.
Not
That's
custom.
just a standard.
Let's say 20 to 24, 16-inch box, right? 50 in a bundle. You're paying for that. Your sauce, whether it's 7-Eleven or 6-in-1.
Well, 52% increase in the last 18 months on sauce. And you know the sauce industry, it never goes backwards.
Correcto.
Never.
So you got to jump on that of 44 to 50% increase on one item. So you got your pizza boxes, your pizza sauce, or sauce, let's just say. Mozzarella, which 70 cents, and today is August 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
70 cents in 6 to 7 weeks? Come on.
How you absorb
And
it?
going up,
Going up.
another 9 cents.
Plus you got the pizza liner.
So you
got
figure
the knee top.
your call a spade a spade. Let's $2.80, $2.90, $3, $2.50 a pound. A pound. You're putting a pound of cheese on there. So $2.50 to $3 is already out the door.
Yep.
Your pizza man, you're paying him. They're not $100 a day no more.
Nope.
No.
They're $180 to $300 a day.
300, some
All
parts of the
depending where you
country,
are.
yeah.
Again,
And they
obviously
work,
market.
And they work less.
And they work less.
Yeah.
The mindset today is it's not the pizza man or the owner's fault or this. You know what it is? They're not guided.
No.
They see what they see. Oh, this went up. That's great. It went up. What are we going to do? 40% of them says, let's go cheaper. Well, you're destroying your foundation of your pizzeria.
Well, just to interject this, what's the biggest comment we get with a lot of guys we sit with? My customer.
Right.
Your customer is our customer.
Correct.
Your customer, if they had no choice, would pay the correct price. You can't be afraid to make profit, and that's what these guys are.
Right. So going back to your pizza sauce, your pizza box, your cheese, your electricity, your gas, your garbage, your cable, your
Internet,
your payroll tax, your internet.
third-party delivery.
It's costing you today between $7.50 and $8.50 to make a pizza, which is a 16-inch. Now, what's the rule of thumb? They say three times. I don't believe in that.
No, you can't pay shit onto it. You got 22 fixed costs that come in the door.
So, that being said, I want to call it $8 a pizza that it's costing you. Cost.
Yeah.
Overall cost.
Using quality.
Using
product.
quality.
Yeah.
Well, even if you go cheaper, it's $1 less.
$1
Why
less,
would you
it's no
jeopardize
different.
your business for $1 less on a
Yeah.
pizza?
No, you're right.
So you got 8, 16, 24. Reality of the matter is we should be selling a 16-inch pizza $20 to $24.
Even 32.
Yep.
I mean, let me interject this here.
A 16-inch.
If you got a 16 to 18-inch pie, right?
Correct.
And your cost is $8, $7, whatever it is. If you have, listen to what some of the raw costs are here, fellas, okay? You've got your labor, you got your rent, insurance, electric, gas, internet, online services, web maintenance, cable TV, iCloud phone system. You got laundry, sanitation, workman's comp, taxes, delivery vehicles if you have them. You got grease removal, pest control. You got hood cleaning and maintenance, which needs to be done. You got advertising, food and beverage, and the third-party delivery. It's 22 fixed costs.
Equipment breakdown, too.
And yeah, and now
That's
if you
huge.
want to make 25%, you want to make 15%. How are you going to make 15% if you take $8 and you put $16 more on that cost? How are you paying all these bills and making fucking 10 or 15%? You deserve to make 20%.
Correct.
I mean, why are guys? The problem is you got guys that are coming into this business that are making $750 for 6 days working for Papa Luigi or whatever the fuck the guy's name is. He gets a chance to go fucking buy a shop that's doing $5,000 a week that some guy just wants him to take over the lease because he wants to get the fuck out of the deal. And he thinks doing $7,500 and $10,000 in a week, that's money. That's fucking a mortuary. I've seen dead bodies in a coffin do more fucking action than that fucker's doing in a goddamn week doing 10 grand. 10 grand's a fucking day of sales on a Thursday.
Well, they're not putting everything into consideration, Joe.
But they don't understand it. So now to them, if they go out and they make $1,100 a week or $1,200, they think they're making a living. They're just buying a job.
Yeah, and half of them probably go to the casino and fucking blow it.
A lot of them do. I mean,
you know what I mean? They're not
and then
even using it
you got some of these guys, they send home $400 to South America where they came from. Well, $400 goes a shit long way.
Well, that's the other issue, you know, when it comes into the prime cost is the other issue is you don't really see the true Italian guys owning pizza shops anymore.
They're gone.
That's not
gone.
that's not being fucking racist. That's not saying anything like that.
The industry
what
on
I'm
the
saying
transition.
is the industry has changed since I was even younger, and when you guys, I'm 20 years behind all you guys, and just to go into a pizza shop, you don't really see the true Italian guy behind the counter anymore.
No.
That's not there.
And in actuality, let me say this. So what we explain to you here is the prime cost. That's what we're getting to. So when you sit here and you say your cost on a pizza, you know, an average dough bowl is $1.10. You got now the second thing that popped up as the second most expensive thing on a pizza is your sauce now, due to the 52% increase in the last 18 months.
And going.
And moving up. It's never going to return. So now you got that's going to go to about $1.40 for an 8-ounce ladle. Okay? Now you got $1.40, and then cheese can run you anywhere from $2.60 to $2.80 a pound. You add those factors together. I use a custom box at my place. We put the liner inside. We put a knee top. You're going to get the $7, $8 on your cost. That's your prime cost. Most of you guys, the problem out there is we just the other day, we were sitting at the pizzeria at my place. Also, one of our competitors came in. What'd they do? They grabbed the menu. If all you do is grab a menu to make your pricing, you know what? You're better off getting leaves when you're taking a shit and wiping your ass while you use tissue paper. I mean, you have no fucking clue what the hell is going down in your job, in what you do. You need to understand, in the simplest thing, if you don't understand prime costs, get the fuck out of the business. Because your prime cost is what your actual cost is, not that just on that goods and the labor that goes into it. That's a simple way of explaining it.
Another way to talk about it is this. It's actually disappointing that all this pizza industry, how big it has gotten over the, past 3-4 years, let's be honest, right before COVID and now after, with Dave Portnoy, all the Barstool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And he helped out the pizza industry a lot, I believe. But
he did.
Him getting it, and now we have these expos in Vegas, the international, and all this. When's the last time you heard anyone talk about prime cost?
No.
In years. I think we're going to be the first. And it's just funny to me. It's disappointing that these guys the reasoning is the people who put the shows on, no offense to you, are the companies that you know what I mean, like that. And they don't really give a shit because they ain't worried about it. But they're selling to, hey, they're like you said, Papa Luigi's going to buy it no matter what it is because he doesn't know this.
Here's the thing. We went to grammar school, went to middle school, went to high school. Did one teacher ever teach us to write a check?
No, they don't teach that. They want you dumb.
Did one teacher ever say to us how to open a bank account?
Nope.
That's what they need to teach.
No.
What is a credit card?
What is a credit card?
They wanted your pronouns, your nouns, your adjectives.
What's your social security? What it does for you? What you could buy? So on and so forth. I'm not going to get into that
How do you
shit.
buy
That's
a house?
another thing. Correct. It's the same thing in the pizza industry. I got a pizzeria. Okay, that's great. That's doing I'm just using $10,000 as a number.
Yep.
$10,000 is a great pizzeria if 1 and 2 people work there. 5 days a week.
Well, 7 days a week they're working, some of these guys at that.
Understand this, though. You know what it is? It hurts me. It hurts me because there's certain customers, again, I'm not going to go name who I need to name, and you say to them, well, dude, you're selling pizza at fucking $11.99, a 16-inch pizza. Your rent's fucking $4K.
That's on the low side, a lot of shops.
I can't do it because I got to take care of my customers. Well, they're not fucking take care of you.
No, they're fucking shopping, selling the same shit at Costco, Walmart, all these places, Target.
The thing is,
They don't care.
Yeah, but would it be better? These guys, what they don't understand is if they put their pie at $24 to $28 and everybody across the board, it's not a monopoly. Everybody said, we just got to get back to the right profit margins. And we put that pie at $28, $26, $24, whatever it be. Right now, you're selling 100 pizzas for $12. You're making $1,200 on those pies. If you went out and sold for $25, and then now you ended up doing only 50 pizzas, look at the difference in the price. You're making 50 pizzas less, and you're increasing your volume of money. You know?
It's less
so
payroll,
you're
too.
making the same amount of money. You're making more money at 50 pizzas at 25. You're making over $1,250. All right?
You're making it with less work.
With less work.
And less
now
headache.
Less headache. So why is that so bad?
It's not. It's just
They just don't
like he just
understand
said.
it.
What he went back to the school analogy. No one has developed or taught this to anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's exactly what you're saying. No one has guided these people to do it. And you know what? I'm not saying we're here to guide you. You can say this,
No.
but we're just giving you the facts here.
We're giving you suggestions so you get off
Suggestions
your
of the
ass and
pizza
start
industry.
making money because you deserve to make six figures. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't deserve to be slaving in your shop, being miserable. And you're the same guy that's doing that $12 pie. You want to know what you say to the salesman? And Antonio will back me up on this. And I'm sure Oliver, because he gets out to so many places and talks. And I've seen it at food shows, and my son, we witness it. Oh, those are guys who use the shit. They use the shit. They know use a. Listen to me. I've been around a long time. I've gone to many places, talked to many guys. Nobody wants to prepare shit. You got to be a real dog if you want to prepare shit. And the percentages of guys that are buying that shit quality are lesser than the ones that are buying good.
Exactly.
Correct.
So we're all putting good stuff on the table. It just comes down to why aren't you charging the correct amount of money for the services you render?
I mean, yeah.
Here's a good choice. Go to Starbucks and get a cup of fucking coffee. And look, I can say Starbucks because I buy coffee there. But you're spending $8 to $10 for.
Well, what did I tell you yesterday?
It's liquid.
I'm not gonna.
Liquid.
I got a private coffee place here in Allentown. I go all the time. Okay, love the place. Great coffee. I'd rather go support there than support. I'd rather support a small business. So when I come in there, I get a latte. The latte is $6.50. It's already a double shot tequila. I'm drinking tequila. Double shot espresso, okay, with a latte. I asked for a quad, $3.50 more. I just paid $10 for a 20 ounce.
For a latte.
For a latte. I just said 2 plain slices and a bottle of soda cash at our restaurants, $9.54. And people want to say $10 for 2 slices and a soda. You
what it
can
should be.
feed 2 people with 2 slices and a soda. A 20-ounce latte is nothing. I'm
You gotta
paying
go
the
buy
same
food.
price. You still got to go buy food.
Yeah.
So what is the difference? Why do people think that that's the other thing. Pizza's expensive. Oh, it got that high. The best is the cheesesteaks and the hoagies. Oh, you're charging me $23.99 for a cheesesteak? Yeah, motherfucker. It's 22 inches, and I'm using 100%
3 meals. Your
ribeye.
cheesesteaks are 3 meals.
You got my arm over here.
I'm
You got
using
100% ribeye steak. All right, no
The
fillers.
fucking bread's expensive.
Yeah. Well, Sal, with that said, let's talk about the value. I got 4 kids. A lot of people do pizza
Time out.
night.
You just said the most
value. That's
the
what I'm
most
gonna talk about right
important
here.
word in this whole conversation is value
Okay.
product,
Let's
which
look-
is
let's look at my
a pizza is
life.
valued.
So I pay all my McDonald's and Wendy's bills with one credit card, which is on my phone. $1,222 last month on McDonald's and Wendy's.
Wow.
Now let's look at the
$1,200.
value. When I go to McDonald's, it's $12 on an average to $15 per kid.
Per kid.
When I go to one of the TGI Fridays, Applebee's, $25 a kid. When I get a pizza, even if I pay $20 for the pizza, I feed all 4 kids, even myself, for $20. So I'm feeding my kids for $5 a pop.
People
So
don't
it's
have
a
that
value in
perception. It's a
pizza.
value,
It's
and
a
the problem
value.
is, well, you got places like these grocery stores where they sell pizzas on Fridays for $6. It's bullshit.
That's fucking
People go in
a
and
joke.
Then
And
they
when I
create
see
a
somebody
perception-
walking out of there
All right.
with a fucking large pot,
They don't give a shit.
here,
You're
I'm gonna
paying
get to that.
$6. They're making 400% on the can of tomatoes you just
Well,
bought.
that's what it
or
is.
the
There's-
string beans you bought.
Yeah, like why? They're sucking you in. They want you to come for the pizza and then, do another $400 in grocery shoppings, which this days
And
get
then you got to
bags.
check out yourself, and you don't even get a goddamn
Yeah.
W-2 from them for the labor you did to put the shit in your bag.
or they're baking cupcakes next to your pizza
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the same oven.
Yeah. Here,
Well, what are you gonna?
Let's go back to the people's thoughts on what it costs to make a pizza. And again, the cost
Johnny
might not
sucks.
be, but you guys. So here's a guy from my pizza site. So first he's written
Real
that
quick, this is from
Lehigh Valley Pizza
Facebook,
Shops.
Lehigh Valley Pizza Shops
Yeah, so
on
big
Facebook.
shout out to Lehigh Valley Pizza
Yeah.
Shops. Please follow it on Facebook.
Facebook.
Oliver created. He does a great job with the site. It's a really good site with people's great comments.
I mean, this guy just basically put a post up, put a lot of fake news up. I should have kept it up. I erased it, unfortunately, so I let people remint it.
It was that ridiculous.
So
though.
first thing he writes that he eats all over, and then he makes a comment saying, it's not all that great in the Lehigh Valley. The pizza sucks in the Valley. Well, why are you in the site? And there's a lot of great pizza in the Valley compared to all these other places. But then suddenly he says everybody blames COVID. And he says in the last 2 years, well, first of all, this isn't true. In the last 2 years, prices of all the cheese ingredients have gone down. And he says, bullshit to charge $18 to $22 for a large pizza. And then he makes this comment, which is totally ridiculous, saying he can make his own pizza. No joke, $1. I'm reading this right from his post for a 14-inch pizza. And then he writes that
That's what he said,
uses
$1?
Yeah,
he
Johnny-
uses the
I call him
best
Johnny
cheese,
Sucks.
Grande. He says he uses Grande cheese to make this. And there's a couple really good brand cheese out there, and Grande is one of the good ones.
Yeah.
But and he says this is a 14-inch pizza. You can't even put cheese on the
You
pizza
can't even make
for
pizza
$1.
bites with it.
now you can't.
You can't
The
even tell a hot
dough, the
pocket.
dough is more than
$1.
$1, Johnny
The
Sucks.
beat-
But you know
pizza.
what? That's a fucking complete moron.
He
No,
is,
he is, but this
Complete
is,
moron.
this is
And I
what's
kicked
out there.
myself. I wish I would have left the post up to get his ass reamed
First off,
out.
how old is he?
I don't know.
Okay.
Listen,
I
let's
actually
remember-
just allowed him back. I banned him, but I just put him back on here so he can.
Wasn't
Put
he
him back
one of
on.
the-
I
so we
did. I
can
put him back so
Let's
people-
troll
Actually,
him.
invite him to the fucking
Yeah,
show.
invite him to
I
the
know who
podcast.
this guy is, guys. I know who he is.
Well, get
I was
him on.
watching The Wizard of Oz. He was one of the midgets singing "Ding Dong, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, the witch is dead, Ding Dong,
Probably
the witch is
fucking looks
fucking
like that.
dead." And he was going around with squiggly hair. That was him. It was him.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what's even crazier if you go in depth with a comment like that is, you want to know? He sat down. Okay.
He wrote that.
Was he drinking a Miller Lite?
Probably.
Probably not.
I guarantee.
Was he
this
dressed
guy
as a
uses-
woman?
This guy buys comic book porn.
Was he?
That's what he
Did
buys.
say, you know that guy in what's it called? The Adam Sandler movie,
Happy Gilmore.
Billy Madison,
Billy Madison.
where the guy's he's sitting back with his lipstick, sitting down with the people he wants to kill, and he's over here writing it. That's my picture of that guy. That's what I'm going to look at.
These are the idiots that you see
Oh,
out there.
man.
I love the ones that we charge for credit cards. Everybody charges for credit cards.
Oh, that's the
and
fucking,
that's the best one here. And he doesn't have it listed up there. Hey, moron, let's understand one fucking thing. You don't have to list it.
yeah.
All right, so listen, everybody. With that being said, the Pizza Fellas here. We're going to take a short break. We've been having a couple of drinks. We've been talking about some stuff, so we're going to have to let some water out of the body here and clean ourselves up. We'll be back shortly. All right, Pizza Fellas.
I feel like I'm walking down Queens to make a ad. Go to get some sneakers. Go to the bakery.
It's some like a '60s movie coming
Yeah.
on in.
We got another lighter here somewhere.
Right here.
Yeah. Oh, he's got it. Put it right here so we have it.
That one over here.
We got to get everything in check. Hello, everybody. Facebook Live over there right now, guys.
All right. All right.
We're rolling?
Here we go.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to Pizza Fellas Show. Over here, we're filming for the first edition of our Pizza Fellas Podcast. Guys, this big shout out to my page over there, my Facebook page live. We got Oliver Nassry, Antonio DiFlora. We got my son, Salvatore Ruffino. And we got Justin Corsa from Internet. All right, I'm Joe Ruffino, and we're filming our first episode of Pizza Fellas Podcast. All right, everybody, back to the story here. So everybody knows, we're going to have our Facebook page, Instagram, and YouTube where you can follow us on. It's going to be coming up and being onboarded sometime in the next 7 days. All right, and now we're back to the show. We're going to get back to something here that we started with before the break, and it was prime cost. And the reason why we're going back to it is, look, a lot of guys are going to catch on to this, and they're going to start watching this. And as we all know, the problem with a lot of places is there's a word I like to use. People become institutionalized.
I love that word.
Yes.
And why are they institutionalized? Because they've been doing what they're doing for many years, and they have success of what they call success. But they're not doing the things that we're talking about here. They, for years, came up in the program in pizza business, and they were in an era where they made a lot of money. But now you're in an era where you're challenged every day with the cost of goods and the things that virtually go into making your business successful. The one advice we could give you is prime cost, figuring out what your costs are on the goods that you use. The guys of you that are going to listen to this and say, oh, yeah, listen, we know what they're going to say. Who the fuck is this guy? He thinks he is. What? He thinks he knows all the shit. I don't think I know all the shit. I know what I know, and that's the truth. And I'm giving you some advice for some simple things for us all to become successful. And not be afraid to say, I'm in this to make six figures.
Yeah, real quick on that. That's one thing people need to realize when you own a pizza shop. Oh, wow.
Oh, listen to that.
Oh, that's the kids outside.
The kids outside playing with the toys.
Playing with the toys. Okay. But what else? Anyways, what I'm trying to say is we're not trying to attack any pizza shop. We're not trying
not
to
at
do
all.
any of that
Educate.
We are literally telling you the facts of prime costs and what it costs to make a pizza and certain items in this restaurant and industry. And at your level, at whatever you do, we appreciate and respect what you do. But at the same time, you need to realize you selling these pizzas, like we said before in the beginning of the podcast, 2 pizzas, $16.99. 2 pizzas and a 2-liter of soda plus 18 wings, $25.99. There's no fucking money being made. So you got to realize
There's
it,
no venture at the end of the
understand
day.
it, and you can't just react in a negative way to this comments and suggestions that we're telling you. This is what it is. This is how it's laid out. And stop worrying about the customers so much. No disrespect to any customers. We need the customers to live. But at the end of the day, they don't know the blood, the sweat, and the tears, a football reference that I've used for years, that we put into the business. So at the end of the day, we're just here to give you, like my dad said, suggestions and realize what it does cost to make a pizza.
Well, here's the one question I have for all of you, and get a piece of paper out. How many guys in the industry have ever said to you prime cost? And if I'm just telling you this for the first time and you don't know what it is, it's not shame on you. It's about time. Wake up a little bit. When you're having your espresso, your cup of coffee, orange juice, whatever gets you off in the morning, start to go on your phone and just Google it.
Well, actually,
And learn.
what year did you find out what prime cost was in this business?
When I found out about it, it was about 12 years ago.
Okay.
Okay.
You've been in the business a long time.
And I've been in the business, so I'm not afraid to say I didn't know it my whole life.
A little
Once
bit
I
more
found
than
out,
that. Maybe like 14, 15 years.
Now, do you guys think working in the sales industry, you worked for Roma's, both of you together, you now work for Anna Capri, do you think working in that industry and also owning a shop and have done that, owning and operating, do you think that you've learned more due to that? Due to working in that industry?
I would say, here's my take on that. I'll go first with this, okay? My take on this is that the prime cost, when you go to food shows and all, and this is going back 23 years ago with some of the broadline. Prime cost was never, they didn't want you to know prime cost. They didn't want you, all they wanted is your buy. They would tell you, these broadliners would come in and say, oh, look at this. I'm giving you a piece of salmon. It's costing you $4. Hey, plate coverage, $4. Put some vegetables. It's going to cost you $5. Oh, let's sell it for $15. They were the ones that instituted this 3-to-1. That's the thing that was discussed. Prime cost was never discussed.
Oh, so you're saying that
They're not
this
interested.
Industry,
The industry isn't interested in teaching you.
They just want to give you the sale. That's why I asked.
They want to get the sale and make it look good. You're doing a limited amount of work. Look, you're not fabricating. You're not working in your kitchen. Less labor. Bullshit.
So what about you?
You still got to get your ass in gear and make money.
It's a growing pain.
Yeah. Again,
It's an educational. It's through years and years of experience.
And let's talk about
And
what this today's show is about. It's about educating the shop owners. We're not trying to bash any shop owners.
No.
You got to make a living. Nobody complains about the chain restaurants putting their prices through the roof. The chain restaurants screw your order up how many times you keep going back. But then you got the mom and pops who are working their ass off and not making a lot of money.
Well, here's also the thing. 10 years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, pizzerias are not the pizzerias today.
No,
They're-
not at all.
It's a whole different
animal.
It's a whole different animal.
Now, what do you mean by that?
But
Directly?
this is what I mean.
Cost.
Number one, 15 years ago was cash. there was more 85, 90% cash than credit cards.
Yeah.
Now it's the total opposite.
Yep.
So now you're getting hit from credit card fees to
Third-party delivery fees.
to third-party delivery fees.
All right.
I mean, those are
Number
additional
one.
costs that these guys aren't even taking into expense or thought. What they do
And let's talk about rents.
Number
where rent
10.
has gone and employees.
through the roof.
Hey, everybody
Wages
wants
through
Let's
the
stay
roof.
on that. Let's
Yeah.
quick stay on this topic.
The other thing too is
I
the
wanna know
menu.
the industry,
the menu
yeah.
changed.
Exactly.
It's not pizza pepperoni anymore in wings
No,
and
not at
sandwiches.
all.
Oh my God! You got
It's
garlic knot
fucking-
pizza,
it's-
vodka sauce
it's-
pizza. Who's got
Who's
this?
got this?
Who's got that? Put
Yeah.
buffalo wings on the
Fucking
crust.
Everything.
I mean, I could say it's funny. I look on my Facebook page. I got stuff we did 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 8 years ago. Guys are just coming out and they're blowing their load looking like, look what I just discovered, and really think like they just found a new world. Like
True.
they just,
Yeah.
they're thinking, oh my God, I'm the creator of like,
Well, you get attention from people that
you know, it's
are
crazy.
involved in these.
You got guys
groups.
fighting over a freaking 16-ounce meatball. I did that shit, been there, done that, forgot about it. It's in my filing cabinet. And then I see I'm like, shit, I did that. And then guys will say, no, I'm the first. Listen, none of us were the first at making pizza. And none of us at the first at making a turkey
No.
sandwich. You who think you're the first, listen, get to the back of the line and start to absorb some brain theory here and realize we're all doing the same thing. Get out of the institution and start to see what's out there and get educated, because we all deserve to have some money in the pocket in the right way and pay your bills.
But real quick, I want to go back to you. I want to get back to that point I was trying to make. What did this industry of you being a salesman help you with prime cost, or not help you with prime cost?
As far as
Working as a salesman within Roma and now Anna Capri for years. Because like my dad said, he stayed at 25 years
Yeah.
ago. But for you,
you have to evolve, not every year, not every month, but every day.
Exactly.
Every day. You're only good in this industry till the last day that you close that door. Monday's a new day,
Yep.
no matter which way you look at it. But as for me, I have to bring some type of knowledge to the table. Anybody can buy flour from me, from you, from anybody.
yeah,
But what am I bringing to you?
yeah. What makes them want to buy? from you?
What makes them? Well, you got to sell yourself first, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, that's number one. Number two, you have to bring some type of education. You have to break down things for. Listen,
That
people
includes the prime cost.
correct
breaking
though.
down
That's
for
where
them.
I'm getting at.
Yeah.
So if I say to a guy, "Hey, look, this Fresca costs $25 a case. Oh, I could get it for 24. That's great. But I could break this down to say, okay, this is costing you 15 cents. You should sell it for 75 cents to $1. Okay, now you're making me think.
What's the biggest thing, though? When you've had guys that have come to my shop, and we've showed them around, and you said, show them this, show them that. What's the biggest thing is, even with your frozen foods, your fryer foods, portioning, understanding. When somebody's selling you something, and you say, I got this case of fries on sale for this and this. Well, the first thing you should be asking yourself is, how many pounds is it? Is it 27 pounds? Is it 35 pounds? Is it 30 pounds? What's the cost? What are you selling a portion of fries out? So if you're buying it for $20 and it's a 30-pound case and you're selling a 1-pound order of fries and your fries are $5 an order, now you're getting 30 orders out of the fries. Well, $20, you're making $150 on the case. You're doing good. That's prime cost. That's a simple prime cost.
Well, here's another thing, too.
How many guys are just throwing the fries in?
Correct.
And just because they spent $20 on a case, they're only getting 80 out of it. They don't know what they're putting on the dish.
It's-
And guys
So
will
you
say,
can
hey,
go-
that's not true. It is true.
So we can go so far with beating up a salesman for a price. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go so far. The $1, the $2, great. Why don't you, instead of beating up the salesman, beat up your credit card company?
Right.
Exactly.
Beat up your gas company. Beat up other things that are actually gnawing at your
Beat up
ankles.
your menu. Beat up your menu.
Beat up your menu.
Where you're not charging the correct item. Instead of going out
Actually,
and
that's
taking
something I never thought about too. Now you said it. That's a very why is the salesman who's selling you a product the most hated man in the industry sometimes.
Because they're institutionalized.
No,
I'm not talking about every pizzeria that I ever encountered. There are actually super smart operators.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like tremendously smart operators. And you know what? I tip my hat to them. Honest to God,
100%,
I do. And I learned from them.
Yeah, no, I know a bunch too.
Okay? But there's also there's some guys that are in the dark. They're not stupid. Nobody's stupid.
They don't trust people. They don't trust.
That's one of them.
They don't.
You need to educate. You need to educate me as what I do for my living. I need to educate my customers one way or another. Well, this guy could be doing this and this guy could be that. I'm not saying you need to do everything that everybody else is doing. You got to be diversified.
Yeah.
What makes that customer come to your pizzeria? For what reason?
But just think about that statement, though. These operators will come out and they want to beat up a salesman for 2 pennies and $1. But in return, instead of increasing the price on their menu and beating themselves up to get the actual correct price, they're fighting with one person instead of saying, hey, you know what? Maybe this menu here, instead of fighting for that $1, I should be pricing it better so I don't have to fight for the $1. You know, I mean, it's no different than the other day I went to a franchise. Just real quick. Now, we sell an 8-ounce Angus burger. It's an Angus burger. It's a soft press. I love the burger. Our burger with fries is $11 and change. I went to this franchise, got an 8-ounce, 2 4-ounce patties with cheese, plain and bacon, $13.72.
Yep.
$13.72. Now, what makes they don't advertise Angus. They just advertise fresh beef. Well, I use fresh beef. It's not frozen. I mean, we're bringing in burgers every day, 5 to 6 cases a week, but I don't buy them in one shot. I buy them on a daily basis so they stay fresh. But, I mean, what's the difference? A consumer goes there and pays $13.27 for that 8 ounces of burger with bacon on it. No fries. If you get the fries, you're at $20.
So, real quick,
It's
though.
perception of what?
Back to what you were saying with the owners, how every owner, you know, there's great operators out there, that, you know, some of these other owners. So I was listening, I'm a football guy for all the PizzaFellas Podcast fans that are going to be. I'm a football guy, played for 18 years, still coach to this day. My life, other than the restaurant business, is football. So I translate a lot of my football life to the business. That's how I get through it. That's how I can relate to it easy. So what he was saying earlier is, you know, there's a lot of great operators. There's some operators, you know, they're just in it, right? So I was listening to Micah Parsons on another podcast. Shout out to the Pivot Podcast with Ryan Clark, Fred Taylor, and Channing. And Micah Parsons was on there from Penn State. You guys know number 11 on the Cowboys. And he said, you know, they asked him about football. They said to him, do you see yourself playing football, you know, for the rest? He goes, listen, football is my passion. But the thing I tell people is I don't want to mix passion and purpose. So what's my purpose in life? My purpose is not football. My passion is football right now. So at some point I'm going to be done because my purpose is bigger than my passion. I don't want to mix my passion. At some point, my passion might change. So how I want to relate that to what you said, what I'm saying is this. Those owners and operators that are successful and doing well, it's their passion. For example, my dad, you know, for example, other people in the industry, it's their passion, and they do have a bigger purpose, but at the end of the day, they've never reached that purpose yet. Where these guys are coming in that aren't as successful, they're trying to do all these specials, they don't know prime cost, they don't understand it all. It's their purpose to be the guy who says, my pizza's the best. I do the best in this. They don't have a passion, true passion. I'll look you in the eye. You don't have a true passion for it because your purpose took over and said, I want to be one of those guys who can run a $15,000 to $25,000 a week pizza shop, and that's my purpose. But there's no passion. So that's my relatability. I feel like the guys, the passion's there. They're not going to keep going until that stops.
I agree. You need passion. You need vengeance every day. You need to be relentless.
You know what it is also, Joe? So it's a huge word. They're afraid. They're afraid that they're going to lose.
Yeah.
you're not going to lose.
No.
If you're not going to lose, if you put out a consistent product, I could say to this man Tuesday when I'm there taking his order and say, listen, Joe, I got a 1995 French fry. You know what he's going to say to me? No.
I don't take it.
Joe, I have $1.99 cheese for 2 weeks. Take it, Joe. No.
Not interested.
The only time Joe asks me for a price, I'm just using Joe as an example because he's next to me. The only time he'll ask me for a price is not because he's putting me against somebody else. He's educating, well, I shouldn't say educating himself. He is trying to absorb what that cost is and what to sell it for. That is the only time this man will ever ask me a price on a product.
Yeah.
And he'll break it down per pieces in a box. This, that, and he'll say, well, what do you think? This is good. Yep, that's good to be. And he'll do it.
That's how I do it.
That's how, he's not going to sit there and say, I could get the flour 50 cents less than you're getting.
No, that's not changing the day.
You know why he'll never ask me for a price? Do you want to know why? The only reason why?
Quality.
Nope. No.
Go ahead, tell him.
I'm going to tell you right now. Are you ready for the secret? Are you ready for the secret?
I want to know the secret. Now I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because his menu is priced accordingly.
Yes.
So, Joe, let's talk about this because on my pizza page, a lot of people are making comments that a lot of shops are using cheaper quality products, which I know you don't do at all. Talk about the quality products you use.
I mean, listen.
And that's why you can charge that price you charge.
When you say quality, and that's what I've always stood by. So if you're looking for a special tomato, you're looking for it within that avenue of what you use. There was a time during COVID where you had to really be diversified. Options. You had no options, so you had to really look into what you were getting. There's a line of product line that you use that's a quality line of product. There's other things you could step down to. Give you an example. An Italian tomato. You can open them up, put them in trays. You can look at the good tomato here, and you can look at this one here that's a little cheaper. Well, what you're going to get is a lot of blondes. The other thing you'll get is you're counting this tray over here.
Excuse me, Joe. Blondes are what are on the bottom of the tomato.
Right. They're not ripe.
They're not fully ripe.
They're not fully ripe. So what will happen is you put them in the tray. So you got the great tomato over here. You count 44 to 46 pieces. That's the average. You go to this cheaper tomato over here that's $6, $7 less a case. Okay, it's got blondes in it, so they're not ripe. You count it out, you got 27 to 30 pieces. So you just got 14 to 16 tomatoes less. That's what you're getting. You know, guys don't even, what I just said, there are guys out there that are going to watch this and be like, oh, what's the big deal? But they never did that. They never did a tomato cutting. They never opened up a can, dumped it in a lasagna tray, and counted tomatoes. They're like, what's that for? Because they never thought to themselves, how are they making it cheaper? If something's cheaper, there's always a reason why.
Yep.
All right? And you have to know these things just by being curious.
So here's where I saw where your quality comes in at your restaurant. I remember when the supply chain issues came out, calamari.
Oh, calamari. I wouldn't sell the Chinese
When
calamari.
it came out, there was no good stuff.
I could get it for $3.95.
So what did you do? You stopped selling it till the good stuff came back.
Yeah.
And that was
Exactly.
a true testament to the quality at your shop. And that's how all these shops should look at it.
No, they honestly, you look at wings. Now, I mean, wings, thank God they came down. And I got to say, I adjusted the price accordingly, but I kept the profit where I wanted it. I don't need to sell 12 cases of wings a week. Wings is an accommodation. I'm a pizzeria.
You're not a tavern.
I'm not, right. I'm a pizzeria. I sell hoagies that steaks.
we don't have a wing
chicken
night.
parm.
There's
not
no
a
wing
wing night.
night.
There's
There's
nothing like that.
I don't
so
tell you this.
I got club sandwiches. I got quesadillas. I got nachos. I got wings. We've got, and
I'll be
paninis,
honest,
wraps.
we probably sell fucking more quesadillas than nachos. Than fucking
really?
Oh, it's amazing.
My God.
But again, there are accommodations.
I run
on
out
your
of
menu,
wraps once a week.
and we use quality
fucking
stuff.
quesadillas.
We use quality stuff in it. But
and real quick, I'll give you guys all a shout out. I'll give you guys a little tip. Take a garlic spread, put it on the back of your quesadilla, and put it on the grill.
Oh, delicious.
And that's how you serve it.
Oh, a whole new flavor.
Really? Yeah.
Whole new flavor.
Fuck the oil on the grill or the panini machine. I told my guys, take the end of
It's
it,
unreal.
put garlic spread
It's
on
unreal.
it, and let it cook with the garlic butter.
Like,
The garlic spread we buy.
oh, okay.
and put it on.
Listen, Antonio could vouch for this because we've had at least a half a dozen people that you brought in. I'll tell anybody anything. My wife says to me one time, she's like, why would you show somebody how you make dough? She says, I don't care.
Because they're not going to follow it.
They don't. They're
how
gonna
you
do
execute
better.
it.
They're not going to follow it.
Why are you showing them how you make sauce? Because they're going to make it better.
I know a kid
And that's cool. I'm fine by that.
Yep. I know a kid. I was on the golf course probably fucking 2 months ago. I was with him at a tournament, and he's a pizza guy. Won't name names. And I'm golfing with him, and I said to him, he goes, how's your dough process? I said, well, you know, our Sicilian dough, all as much water as we put in, the hydration levels, etc. And he goes to me, I told him everything.
That's the next episode.
Right? Yeah, that's the next episode.
Yeah.
But real quick, he goes, oh, wow, that's nice. He goes, yeah, you know, I put a lot of sugar in my dough.
Okay.
I came back, I said, what? Sugar in your fucking dough? Bro, you're killing it. That's why it burns quickly in the oven.
I mean, what happens with the sugar is, I mean, it does initiate the yeast, but as fast as it initiates the yeast, and the problem is you'll have guys that are using sugar, and what they'll do is, you know, if they look at our process, how long it takes, because we mix the temperature, because with the sea salt, the spring water, the olive oil, how we do it, guys will look like, why are you doing this? And they're going to look at this podcast and say, oh, well, what I do is successful. Well, maybe it is. But
oh, yeah, I'm not saying it's
if you
not
have
successful,
questions
but when you
of why
question
it
me
is,
and
there's a
ask
science to what we do.
Yeah.
You know, and there's no secrets. I mean, if Tony Gemiani, I mean, I've been with him at times, and he showed us in different discussions that he has. You put up your hand, you have a question for him, he'll answer anything for you. You know what I mean? He's not afraid. And a person who knows is not afraid of explaining to you any process that they do. It's the person who only knows what they know that becomes self-centered and just is very standoffish. And I learned they don't want, you know, they got a secret. There is no secret.
It's how you execute it.
Yeah.
Even in sales, people
One thing real quick, though, I do want to talk about is the fact that other than pizza in this industry, what I've noticed in the past couple of years, and also on Facebook, you know, he has the Lehigh Valley Pizza shops.
You talking about Oliver?
Yes. But on Facebook, they have that cheesesteak growers.
Yes.
Right? So everyone nowadays with Philadelphia, good page, you know, everyone throws out cheesesteaks. But the competitiveness, the competition in steak meat, okay, that's going across the board. You know, my dad, he's always looking at steak meat, different ribeyes and this. And then other pizza shops, what they're serving, I don't know what they're serving. I'm not saying I do. All I'm asking is the cheesesteak meat and the steak meat, the product, the bread, everything, the cheese you use, even almost down to the freaking onions. It's gotten so competitive at a prime cost concept. How do you apply that with the steak meat? Do you say you go to a higher ribeye where the higher ribeye is, say, 100% ribeye, 90% ribeye? Do you go less? The people who are going less, are they still making that, you know what I mean, the same money? Do you have a 6-inch hoagie, 8-inch? There's a lot that goes into a cheesesteak. And, you know, there's no really, other than what you do personally, you can't really, it's hard to say what someone's real prime cost is depending on what product they use. Yep. But it's a very competitive market right now. The steak meat market, I think, is very competitive.
Well, I think
real quick before, Dad, you go on, I want to know from a sales point, you're in it. What's your thoughts on that? Am I right in saying it's a competitive market? Has it grown more than?
Well, the number one thing is adjust accordingly of what product you're using, right?
Yeah.
So if you're using 100% ribeye, like this gentleman next to me does, Joe, he charges
accordingly.
What he's paying for, which is accordingly. Okay. Granted, there's all types of meat out there. There's lifter meat. There's marinated ribeye. There's 100% ribeye. There's loin tail. There's sirloin. It's just vast.
25% marinated,
right?
30% marinated.
There's even steak that's mixed with cow meat to bring down.
Jesus, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Well, you could tell when a steak is really bloody.
Yeah.
Well, when he says cow meat, though, it's more like filler meat.
Correct.
It's more like filler.
Gotcha.
So
you're getting
meat, but it's just the excess.
So understand this. Here's a little bit of an education in this. If you're using 100% ribeye and you're paying $5 a pound, right? You're paying $5 a pound for 100%. If you're paying $48 for 10% of a ribeye, you're losing 10% of that product, not the case, the product. So if you're using an 8-ounce ribeye, you're losing 10% every time that goes on the grill. So that $48.95.
Put that into a dollar perspective. If it's $48.95 or it's $5, that case that's 50, it's $55.
Correct.
Okay.
15%.
And could be more.
Correct.
Because they're giving you an estimate that's 10%.
They're telling you
marinade.
10%. It's up to 10. It starts at 10. It could be 12, 15.
There's no true science to that, I believe.
Understand
That's my personal
that.
opinion.
Now, we had this discussion about 3, 4, 5 months ago in our friend Jerry Coppola's gazebo.
Shout out to the
thing.
Cross
Yeah.
Pizzeria.
Shout out to Jerry,
All right.
good guy, good friend.
Now,
Good friend of ours.
A Valley. There was a huge discussion, which is a Valley cheesesteak. Now, I grew up in North Jersey. We didn't eat no fucking cheesesteaks. maybe once in a blue moon, but our thing was pizza and Italian Heroes, which was ham, salami, provolone, and lettuce, all that good shit. A Valley cheesesteak, Joe, is
sauce, pickles, onions, hot peppers.
Right.
You know, it's the
American
whole thing.
cheese.
American
cheese.
And it's been that way. I worked at Westgate Pizza 77 through 89, and that's how the cheesesteaks were made. And that's one of the, core shops in the Valley, which Joe's dad actually opened. And
Big shout out to Westgate over there.
yeah.
You travel up
great
north.
operator.
You travel up north to the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area. That whole scene changes again.
Yeah.
The Poconos changes again.
Yeah.
You're going towards Bucks County, Philadelphia. That changes again.
Exactly.
I often
Sauce on
say it's like every 5 to 10 miles, the cheesesteaks and everything are changing drastically. I mean, who's putting peppers and mushrooms in it? Who's doing this?
Well,
who's doing mushrooms?
also, what's crazy is this. What you talk about the Valley cheesesteak. The Valley cheesesteak, in my sense, is something it's like a delicacy here.
Yeah.
Okay? So you can't find that anywhere else, unfortunately. Which, is a good thing and a bad thing. But it's a good thing in the sense that we have it here. People come, they say, hey, we got to go to the Valley for a cheesesteak. Now, when I say it's a bad thing I mean this. When you go everywhere, what's the number one cheesesteak you see on a place?
Number one?
No.
As far as like what's in it?
Yeah, Philly Whiz. For the most part, when I go to Arizona, when I go and I travel a lot,
I see what
when
you're
I go,
saying.
what's the cheesesteak? Philly Whiz cheesesteak.
They're all trying to do.
You're all a Philly cheesesteak. All due respect to Philly, but the Whiz cheesesteak is not better than a classic Valley, and I'll say
It's
it
a
here
mess.
live.
It's a mess. You can't even eat that
Okay.
thing.
It's an opinionated thing.
Yes,
Exactly.
it is.
Everybody's
But at
wrong.
the same time, I believe the Valley cheesesteak could get on the level of a Whiz cheesesteak or a Philly cheesesteak, and it goes across the country. Because everywhere I go, you always see on the menu, these places, Philly cheesesteak. Whiz.
And it's their interpretation of it.
And
they
it's
put their
their
spin on it.
yes.
And
they
then you
put-
get it, and it's a Portuguese style hoagie roll.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's not. Everybody, they just can't.
So it's not replicated well, which that's where I go back with. The good thing is the Lehigh Valley cheesesteak can't be replicated. Maybe if we did this, we'd have ketchup on top of a fucking, you know what I mean? Some stupid sauce, a jar of sauce on top of onions. So it is a good thing, but I think the Philly cheesesteak got a little bit of a bad rep because you go everywhere, you got the Philly.
Yeah, they put it on their menus. You go out west to restaurants, you go down to South Florida, etc. You always see that as part of the menu. It's a
Part of
Philly
the
style.
menu.
And then we're from the Valley, so we know what these are, and then you see what they're putting in there: peppers, mushrooms, this. They're trying to duplicate it, and then the meat's not
it's
chopped
just hard.
right. It's just not.
It's not
what they're-
replicable.
But it's their spin on it.
But at the end of the day, let's go back now to Dad. You buy. What's your point of view, POV, for the young guys who are watching? On when you buy a steak meat, what are you looking for? You know,
I mean,
when it comes into
I'm looking for 100% meat. I mean, and what does that mean? It's that I'm not looking for them to put any kind of soy filler, any flavor in there. I just want to salt and pepper it, you know, and get it ready for the bread. And there's a difference. It's a good steak that has no filler in it, whether you're using a sirloin, you're using rib. I choose to use ribeye. I mean, it's gonna taste like something coming off of a grill. And you know, we talk about it all the time. When we're cooking the meat, it's hot. I'll go grab it to taste it. It's a matter of consistency. I'm tasting all day, you know, and that's what I want. Now, you know, you can go to the restaurant places here, but when you're buying those boxes of steak, there's always filler in those. I mean, you got to look at it. And some guys, you know, that's their profile. That's what they want. Good for you. It's working, whatever's successful. But when you're coming to me, I'm giving you 100% meat. And there's a difference in it. And when you go to Philly, you got to say, when you go to all the big names down there, they're using ribeye. They just don't chop it up. It's 100%. There's not filler in those meats. I've seen those. But
even at the same time, some of those places in Philly, you know what? The other thing is, I had I'll shout out. I like John's. John's.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah.
John's is good meat. But I saw on a post the other day, a lady was pissed off because she said they put it wasn't her spinach. She didn't like the spinach on the. They didn't use broccoli rabe. They used spinach. You know, that's a whole no.
Because she didn't read the menu.
But she didn't read the menu.
She didn't read the menu. I mean, again, whose fault is that?
Whose fault is that?
It's what, reading 101. Go back to, well, I guess she must be a little younger, so she didn't get reading in her class. Yeah. You know.
But all right, well. Guys, this was a great first episode. We're going to tell maybe one or two stories here about the pizza industry. We're going to end like that. We had the prime costs here. As we said, we are looking at it from all the breakdown that we gave you earlier in the episode. We have it down to a science. And again, we are not attacking anyone. We're not doing any of that. We're just giving you suggestions on what we're telling you fact-wise of us being in the business. We have owners. We have a guy who does a lot of social media. And then we have Antonio here. He owns, operated, he owns now, and he is a salesman, a part of Anna Capri. What we're here to just tell you is this. This is prime cost. This is what, as an industry, as a whole, if we all get to this prime cost and we understand it properly, we can make a lot of money together. We want everyone to succeed. But let's get back to, let's finish right now. We'll go to a story. So Antonio and my dad, tell me a story back in the day here.
Oh God.
One story I'll bring up and I'll do it is, I love when you guys talk about it, is the Coke, the soda,
either Coke or a Pepsi.
Yeah. You got to do a Coke or Pepsi, or you had the soda racks. Was it the fucking soda racks? What are you talking about?
What the fuck?
No, remember the conversation we had was either you're a Coke or you're a
Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Coke or a Pepsi guy.
You know what I mean?
It was always Coke. Mm-hmm. Predominantly.
We were always
back in the day,
in the early 80s.
Always.
You know.
Now, you guys know who are listening real quick. Fountain was big back then. Correct?
Oh, yeah.
What was it?
Without
Fountain
ice.
soda.
Without ice.
Fountain soda.
Fountain soda was like
it,
water.
Was a
today.
12-ounce cup of soda back in the day.
That's all it was.
Slicing a soda. No ice, no nothing.
And God forbid you put a lid on it.
Oh. And it was for here. It was for here. Forget it.
And no refills.
No, that was. I still remember what the machine looked like.
Yeah. It was some raggedy a box machine.
Now did Coke and Pepsi salesmen come into you guys?
No, hold on. Let's go back to the real Coke. First of all, it did not come in a bag in a box.
No, it came in a big tank.
It came in a fucking tank.
Yep.
A metal tank.
The steel tanks.
A metal steel tank.
Steel tanks.
These Coca-Cola guys look like bodybuilders.
And you had to bring the hot water down to rinse out the ladles, otherwise they get stuck from the
and
sugar.
it was fat. I mean that thing. And then you're serving a slice of pizza on wax paper and a soda. What was the pizza? 85 cents, 95 cents?
No, when I started,
Not even.
When I started, I think it was 50 cents for a slice.
So think about it. You can back in the let's just call
Slicing
it late
a soda,
80s.
like 80 cents.
Early 80s. You're getting a soda, and a a slice of pizza for $1.
Not even. It was like 80 cents when I started.
Come on.
I'm telling
Fucking
you.
$1.
So soda and a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
But understand this now.
Yeah.
Listen where we're going to go with this. It just goes to show you.
Hey, Juice.
We're talking about 40 years ago. A slice in a soda per se was $1.25. And today it's what? Nothing. It's still nothing 40 years ago.
Compared to what we make.
So we'll use, I don't want to use them, but let's just look at other restaurants and other foods that are out there.
Oh, wait. On that note, I got something to say then. This is a good story because it does fall into that fold. So when I first started, we used to use 100-pound bags of flour. So the 100 pounds bags would come in, and I believe those bags were like $4.50, $4.75 for a bag.
About that.
Yeah.
Okay,
$5.
so we're going back. I mean, you're looking back 1980, 1979. Back in then, I was young. The flour mill was here in Allentown. Used to deliver the flours, 100-pound bags. All right, now here's the thing I want to bring up. So if we use 1980, you got 1980 to 90 is 10 years. 90 to 2000 is 20 years. 20 to 2010 is 30 years. 2010 to 2020 is 40 years. We're 43 years out from that. So that bag of flour, if we said it was $5, pizza was probably $4.50 to $5 for a large pie right then.
Correct.
Okay. With that being said, the average price of flour right now, 100 pounds, could go anywhere from $22 to $25.
50 pounds, Joe.
50 pounds. Yes, wait. 50 pounds. So a 100-pound bag was $4.75 43 years ago on average. Okay? Now we're at 50-pound bags are at $22 to $25. So the 100 pounds is $50 or $45. Let's do the math. Flour has gone up almost 9 times. 9 times the cost it was 43 years ago. Now, let's just say this. If
And nothing has been changed.
Pizza was $5 and we wanted to make the same money we were making 43 years ago, then pizza, in doing simple math, because in my book, I don't do core math, boys and girls. I do fucking math. 2 plus 2 is fucking 4. Anything else, stick it up your ass and wipe it if there's shit. All right, so now,
True.
this is the truth. So 9 times, pizza should be $45.
Do you think about it?
If we use the same thing with the fountain soda, if we use the same thing with cheese, was one time, it was 53 cents when I first started this. Tony Roma was bringing it in the truck from New York. And that's how we used to buy the cheese. He was the cheese man. And that's because of the way the cheese was. It was, territories. There was all this bullshit back then. But he was the guy that could bring it to Allentown. If we followed the rate of the increase of products that we currently sell, things have gone up anywhere from 8 to 15 times. Why has pizza been so stagnant? Why has because we've allowed it to be there. Yeah. And that's a story.
And we're at fault at it, too.
Yeah, we're at fault.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, that's something. And there's guys that will watch this, that are in this as long as me, and know when those bags were coming in from that flour mill. One of the greatest guys I ever know. I could say Hawk Flour Mills, Mr. Hawk.
Well, which is Jerry Coppola's.
His would be his wife's
His
grandfather.
father-in-law.
No, his grandfather.
yeah.
So, shout out to Jerry at the Crust. Love him. His wife, Melissa. That's her family. But Mr. Hawk was one of the greatest men in the Valley, an icon, and that's who we bought our flour from. So that being in perspective, there's something for you to think about. So that's a story from the past.
Back to what it was. Those are some good stories. We're going to take a quick break, pee, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Yeah, we got to piss, bro. I just fucking drank like 7 fucking Modelo's and had a couple shots. I got to piss. All right, so we're going to wrap this thing up. We're going to have the first podcast over. We'll see you guys in about a minute or 2. All right, we're back here now. PizzaFellas Podcast, episode number 1. We're going to finish up this podcast with our final thoughts on prime costs. So we're going to start here. Antonio, any thoughts on prime cost?
We're not gurus, by all means. We're just normal people that do kind of like normal things. just drop a little bit of knowledge. That's all it is.
As we drink beer, whiskey, and smoke cigars.
So, I mean, we covered a lot today in prime costs. Hopefully it was educational in some point and way, and you take a little bit of it. Again, we're not getting paid from anybody. This is just something we came up with through our nights of drinking and smoking.
Yeah, that's how it is.
So, I mean,
there you go.
Off to the next episode, and it was an honor and a pleasure to be here. It really, really was. But that's all I have.
Dad?
No, listen, at the end of the day, look, I know what I know. This is a small little thing that we could all do in understanding our business and our expenses, especially in a turbulent time that we have right now where costs are going exceedingly high, faster than we can control. I mean, a lot of the things that are going out of whack right now are things like dressings and stuff, things that we don't actually charge for. They're just accommodations that we give. So in understanding your prime cost, you would understand a lot more how you can get to your bottom line. And instead of beating up your salesperson, you'd be just like enjoying the profits that you have, and you'd actually have probably a better feeling about what you do on a day in and day out basis. I mean, with that being said, look, guys, some of you are going to look at this and you're going to say, you're going to be negative, and I wish you wouldn't.
It's fine.
That's fine. But for those of you who have curiosity, my door is always open, and Antonio can confirm that. Oliver can confirm that. My son can. I'll show anybody anything. So, I mean, if you're interested in understanding this a little bit more, just give me a call at the restaurant. It's 610-395-7006. I'm more than happy to sit down with anybody at any time. And, you want to make dough? We'll make dough. You want to sit down, you want an espresso? We'll have espresso. But at the end of the day, it's all about us achieving a positive goal. And
as a whole, as an industry.
As a whole community in the industry, and not bastardizing it, but,
And stop in on Tuesday, because I'm there too.
Yeah. And we'll be eating some good food.
And you can stop in any day. Oliver's usually there. Go ahead, Oliver.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are probably, why should you guys listen to this guy, Joe Ruffino, been in the business a long time. I'm on the road travels. I eat different pizza shops all the time, over 1,000 different shops. Joe is probably the most successful person I know in this industry, so that's the reason why you should listen to what he has to say about what's going on.
Thank you, Oliver. I appreciate it.
Yeah, off that, I mean, what I think about this is, guys, this is a lot. There's a lot more to come. What we've done this past hour and a half, 2 hours that we've been sitting here, the knowledge I've learned, and I've been only working legit in the industry for 10 years. I grew up in it, but the knowledge that I've learned in 10 years from not only my dad and Antonio, but other people, I've learned a lot. And just this episode, I've learned more. So what's one thing I got to say to the rest of the people out there, if you have a negative comment, I don't really care. I don't read the comments, so it doesn't bother me. But what I will say to those who own and think they are the best, they do this, who are these guys? I'm going to tell you this. I'm the average guy, and so are them. And I can say this for every one of them, and I know they'll agree with me. I'm an average guy who drinks a beer, takes a shot of whiskey, and smokes a cigar. And guess what else? I hang out and I work 60-plus hours, 70-plus hours a week, just like everyone else. We always can grow. Doesn't matter if you're 55, 34, 28. Everybody can grow in the industry, learn more things, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn more topics, learn more about the industry, about what's going on, and hopefully, at the end of the day, successfully, what we want to get to is just let's get everyone on board to what should be done and get us on top as an industry.
Amen.
And not below.
Yeah,
But
100%.
now we're going to do, we have the PizzaFellas Podcast. We have the food show coming up.
Yes.
Shout out to the International Pizza Expo coming out in New Jersey.
October 1st.
Yes,
And second.
October 1st and 2nd.
October 1st and 2nd, Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Northeast Pizza and Pasta Expo. So-
Our friend here, Justin, come out, Justin, quick. In a sec. Okay, go ahead.
Listen,
We're going to go to...
So what we got is we got the Northeast Pizza Show. We got October 1st and 2nd. Internet, booth 419, my man Justin Corsa right here. And I have to say, if you're looking for some education as far as it goes with using your skills with the websites and the products that his company offers, you got to get over to booth 419 when we're at the Northeast Pizza Show on October 1st and 2nd in Atlantic City. I'm going to tell you one thing. If you come by, say hello. We're going to do small interviews there. Internet is going to show you the things they have, the websites they can do, how they can accommodate your business as they have accommodated mine and so many others.
Real quick on that point, how they can grow your business.
Yes.
Not only accommodate, grow your business. Because one thing that I've noticed, and we'll do another episode on that, is the filled use of social media and internet with pizzas. Independent pizza shops in the country.
Also, too, at booth 419, PizzaFellas Podcast, we're going to be going live there. Make sure to follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at the booth, too, because, look, we all smoke cigars as we do here today. We drink whiskey. We drink bourbon. I mean, a lot of this was formed, big shout out to Jerry Coppola. He always entertains us at his house. I mean,
that's where it originated from.
It originated from Jerry's place, the Crust Pizza. My man, who we've had some great laughs.
But he's at the fucking beach.
We don't really like him, though.
Hey, he's the guy that can get 372 mozzarella sticks out of a block of cheese.
He'll be on the show, and that'll be a great show.
Angry Jerry.
Follow his page, Angry Jerry.
He's got some phenomenal stuff. So, again, back to Northeast Pizza Show. It's October 1st and 2nd. Also, too, at the show, every hour, Justin's going to be at Internet there. He's going to be spinning the wheel, and he's giving away a free bottle of bourbon, whatever lands on. If that one's given away, he's going to move it to another one, and you're going to keep spinning until you win something. So that's going to be taking place every hour. Pizza Fellas will be live there. And what we're going to do today is we're going to spin it today, and the first 50 people who join our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, once that hits, we're going to pick from that group. We're going to spin, go away and choose something, spin it, whatever Justin comes up with.
Whatever the wheel lands on.
He is the electronic genius in the group, and that person's going to win one of these bottles of bourbons here that Antonio's going to spin that wheel. So don't forget, give us a spin there, Antonio.
Do it now?
Yeah. Spin that motherfucker. What do we got? Ooh, Buffalo Trace.
So Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo Trace.
We better get these bourbon guys on this.
So the first 50 people that join up to our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, we're going to pick from those people, and you're going to be winning a Buffalo Trace
bottle right
bourbon.
here.
There it is.
Right here. There it is.
All right, that's a good bottle
Buffalo
of bourbon.
Trace, that's a good
so
bottle.
So you can sit back and you can smoke your cigar and have that drink from Justin at Internet and part of the Pizza Fellas podcast, all right?
So last shout-outs here. We're going to end episode 1. Last shout-out is the 2-4 Cash. Justin Corsa's son, Caleb Corsa. He is a football player at Parkland, and he has our intro music.
Awesome.
And he did it.
Yeah,
awesome
great job.
intro music.
Great
did
job.
a great job on it.
PizzaFellas
I appreciate him a lot. I appreciate Corsa. I appreciate the families that are involved here. And at the end of the day, guys, we're all family.
Yeah.
We're a bunch of guys, family that hang out together, smoke cigars, drink some bourbon.
And provide for our families.
We are the hardworking, the blue-collared guys that you want to see. Again, I'll go back to something that I grew up with. I feel like I'm watching Stone Cold Steve Austin in WWE. You know why? Because everyone loved him. You know why? He was the blue-collared guy, worked hard, got his ass kicked, but then came up and kicked some ass.
That's right.
And that's what we're trying to do here. We're going to kick some ass in the industry, get going. Thank you to Oliver. Thank you to my dad, Joe Ruffino. Thank you to Antonio. I appreciate it, guys. There's going to be a lot more to come. And thank you for being with us here today for episode 1. We're going to correct some things, do some other things, minor adjustments. But at the end of the day, I'm glad we did it. So let's do a quick cheers.
Special guest next episode.
Yeah, special guest.
We're going to have a special guest next episode. And we're going to finish every podcast with a shot. So that's how we always do it. That's what we do here because we know the rest of you do that at home. If you're watching this, you got to have this shot. Here we go.
Gotta get 'em over.
Shout out to, I don't even know what the hell we're drinking. What are we drinking right now?
We're drinking,
And for all those crazy people, this is some Japanese whiskey.
This is
Yamato
whiskey. Samurai edition.
Samurai edition. And here we go.
We're fucking retarded.
There we go.
Let's talk about that clown car that Antonio came in today.
That clown car will beat your ass.
We'll talk about that in a future episode. But thank you guys.
Salute.
Podcast
Salute.
one. Cheers.
Podcast one.
Cheers.
Bitches.
All right, guys, we're out. Thank you. Cheers.
God bless.
God bless.
It's a PizzaFellas Podcast. Turn your speakers up, we better have a blast. Grab a drink, fill a glass, light a cigar, come on, let's make it last. Pizza Talk with Sal and Joe, Oliver, Antonio. Pizza stories, they gon' tell us. Let's have some fun with the Pizza Fellas.